Hello, this is Jahara. In the line of why I traveled to Lahore a couple of weeks ago, and we spoke to a few of the young entrepreneurs who have set up companies there and are doing some brilliant things. The first gentleman that I spoke to, that I called up on, was Khurram Samad. He heads a company called GeniTeam, who's been developing applications for the iPhone, quietly working away in a corner of Lahore. Nobody knew what he was doing until suddenly he surfaced. So I decided, let's have a word with Khurram, find out what he's done, why he's done it, and where he expects to go. So let's join Khurram Samad.
My name is Khurram Samad, and I represent GeniTeam. I'm a founder of GeniTeam. GeniTeam is a software company that specializes in developing Web 2.0 and Mobile 2.0 applications, primarily for smartphones, including iPhone, Android, and then BlackBerry Storm. For those people who have a slightly problem understanding the Web 2.0, I think this more represents about where people can share and collaborate with each other. And the very specific thing about Web 2.0 is that you require scalable applications. By scalable, I mean where there are millions of users who can interact. So that's what our core focus is, and that's what we specialize in.
Okay, now tell me, why did you think of becoming an entrepreneur? You're a fast graduate, and then you've done your MBA, but then you deferred it for a little while from what we were discussing earlier. So is it something within you? Did you always want to be an entrepreneur, or did you think of it somewhere down the road after being an employee for a while?
Actually, I never thought I would be running a company. To be very honest, my dream, and not only my dream, my parents' dream was to work for TechLogix. I think when I got my first job at TechLogix, I really said, okay, I think Allah has blessed me with everything I ever wished for. Okay. By the time I think I joined TechLogix, then I thought maybe I deserve more. and I think that's really happened. Then I realized, and I thought that probably we all friends used to experiment a lot. And I recall Monis Rahman's statement when I heard him. He said, "It's worth wasting." Exactly, I think the guess was, "It's worth wasting few years of your life at the beginning of career." So when I had my 2 years of work experience at TechLogix, I thought, let's waste a few years of my life.
Well, you didn't waste it.
Yeah, that turned out to be that way. But in fact, I wanted to waste my life. So I didn't have this GeniTeam wasn't the first venture I did, and I had my failures before. The first company I started after leaving job was a business process engineering company that was exactly closed down 3 months down the road. Okay. Then I was again looking for a job. So I had been through bad times. I have been through the times when you don't have enough money to spend with your friends to go Freddy's for a good dinner, and you just have to make an excuse. No, I'm sorry, I'm busy for a business meeting. But in fact, in reality, you don't have more funds. But I think yes, in actuality, the basic, it's at the end of the day what you love doing. This is what a phrase we heard a lot. But I just realized I love doing, taking companies or maybe startups from my room to a well-established companies, maybe 20 to 40 people companies. That's what I love doing.
Okay. Yeah. And now at GeniTeam, you have been collaborating with companies in other countries. Tell us a little about that experience.
I think in terms of collaboration, this has really helped us. The basic rationale for collaboration with the other companies was that when you're making a collaboration, I think the best impact is you learn working with them, and that's, I think, one of the biggest benefits of joint ventures as well. Right. That's what I think the new colonial economics models also suggest, that in order to grow up your infrastructure and facilities, that you need to have a joint venture where other people bring in something on the table. So in terms of our partners, they were able to bring in the expertise. So what we had in terms of joint collaboration, for example, with our Israeli partners, when we did work with them, so we had actually, they were very good in developing scalable web applications. That's a kind of a skill that no one has in Pakistan, at least I know of, has done it. So we learned through them. and we built our expertise, having, you know, kind of, I would take this as a probably, you know, as a mentorship or maybe assistantship that we did with them. We learned with them. Then I think the next part, joint venture, the partnership we are doing is just because we do not know how to raise venture capital. That's what we are doing with a New York based startup, because they have an access to the venture capitalists, so they can help us with raising funds. And I think that's what everyone should do. That they should first learn the marketplace. They should learn it with someone, and that's what actually the basic rationale for making partnership was, to work with your partners, learn and brush up your skills, and then you would be in a position to market or capitalize or maybe, you know, monetize your capabilities.
Okay, and also it built your credibility over time.
Definitely, because if you have some good brand names on your side, this definitely helps in terms of expanding your services business.
Okay, and what about marketing? Does it help to have someone else marketing your products and services for you, rather than having to do it from Pakistan? Does the image problem come in the way?
Actually, I personally feel that, you know, but I think what I would suggest to people is that just please, guys, do have a marketing guy on your team.
Okay.
I'm someone who's grown up as one of the very strong techies, but to be very honest, techies is a very, very good word. I really respect it. But just honestly, you need to have a very balanced team. So you need to have someone who's a technically strong guy, and this is very important. That's a very good career path. Even I don't know why Pakistanis really have a problem, because they're taking a path as a strong technical guys and they want to be moved in the management. But yes, I think if you have a good in-house marketing team, that's a very, very important. So I think that's what I did it after doing my MBA from LUM. So that's, I think, really helped me. I personally feel that though we are upselling ourselves a lot, we have a premium product to sell. So this does create a problem, but that does not mean that you cannot do it. There's still, you know, you have the best product, you have the best services. You just need to be strong in communication. You just need to be sure that you need to close the deal. If you can do this, trust me, you don't need to go into US. But yes, there would be some points if you want to raise funding and venture capital, but that's totally a different ballgame. But that's what I have not been into. I can't say, because that's what we are still learning and experimenting. But if someone is about services company, I would say that even in this economic crisis, you honestly need to reduce your costs. You don't need to have a US sales team. You can do a lot over the internet. You can do a lot over the phone calls. The phone calls are very cheap. The internet, you know, I just have on my phones every time. So that's very economical now. So I think it's better to have an offshore development team as well, and a marketing team. And yes, it does happen, but I think impression management is what the sales guys have to do. Okay, in terms of the user base for the free applications, so we probably might not be able to disclose the exact numbers and names.
Okay.
for various reasons, but I think we have touched a number of 2 million users for one of the free apps. In terms of the paid apps, we have been able to have a break even on those, and in exactly, I think, 2 months we had a break even on this. So we have 3 or 4 applications in the pipeline. So the other applications we are not going to have, you know, we are planning to sell few for premium. We are planning to raise funding with our partners in US for the others. So that's the plan.
Okay. Now tell me, how big is the team? Where is the team from? Are they all engineers, or do you have any business development people or designers on your team as well?
Yeah, as I said, that it's basically a team. So by team, you don't need to have just only the technical people. It's always a team which wins. We have a very good mix of teams. So we have people from doing graphic designer. They're primarily from NCA. Okay. We have a marketing team. There are 2 guys. One is from IBA Karachi, and the other is from NAST Islamabad. So they're supporting me in sales. Then we have an engineering team. So engineering team primarily comprises of people from FAST, PICS, Punjab University, and LUMS.
Okay.
So in total, our company's total size as of today is 20 people.
Okay. Are you also planning to extend your development into maybe Facebook applications or other social networking applications?
See, in terms of this, what I've been saying is that you know, if you need to have a focus and a niche. I think there's a lot more competitors. There are a lot more people who do Facebook apps and other things. The people who jumped into this Facebook apps a year back were a good time for them. For example, if someone today comes up with, they say we're another iPhone development company, to be very honest, I'll be least bothered. Okay. Because we have a lot more, we have just capitalized the market, we have a lot more focus, we have all the processes to support the innovation. Right. Mm-hmm. And so probably I think if as a company, I would not want to go into Facebook apps. So even I think there are people people who have the specialties in Facebook and open social. So what we are going to definitely focus on is emerging market space. Yes, I think the other area I just spoke with, so there's a lot of directly innovation expected in mobiles, Android, then Nokia is also planning for their store. So I think there's a lot of growth capacity in that area. That's I think would be a more relevant area for us. In terms of Facebook, I think yes, we might not have the Facebook apps. We are doing it. We did it for a couple of customers but they all of those people get to us when they have more than 5 to 6 million users, when they need a scalable application. We redo the applications for them because they know. So, but yes, we are not because initially for all Web 2.0 applications you need to have a limited financing. You have limited financing. You are usually bootstrapping or you don't have a funding. So those people who go to for a Web 2.0 application, they have a limited fund, so they do it initially as maybe rough or the junk way, and then they get back to us, and then that's the time they have the funds to pay us for making a scalable application.
Okay, now Khurram, if you look 5 years down the road, where do you see GeniTeam being 5 years from now?
I think if I were to envision is we definitely want to serve as a role model for young entrepreneurs in Pakistan and we want to serve as a company which sets up some new trends in Pakistani industry. So we definitely want to be amongst the leading brand name in terms of the focus area. So we have a different model to what most of the Pakistani companies had. So most of the companies, when I maybe in last 3-4 years, they were more general companies which used to sell cost-effective resources, but we have taken a totally different stance. So we are just a focused, we are a niche and a focused company. So that's what I suggest to most of the Pakistani companies and in Pakistan and maybe the other entrepreneurs as well. That's what even all the business studies taught me, and I think that's what even all MBAs are being trained for. So if I were to see at myself as a 5 years, I think we would be we want to emerge as a leading, which I think for one of our areas we are alhamdulillah already been termed as a leading in iPhone application development. But we also want to retain this leadership, and we also want to expand this leadership to more smartphones area, which are in terms of, as I mentioned, Android, Storm, and then there's Nokia Touch, which is expected to release.
Okay, thank you very much. It was great talking with you.
Thank you.
That was Khurram Samad, and you heard what exciting places GeniTeam is going to. And we will certainly keep following him and learning more about what he and his team are doing. And we wish him luck. This was Jahara in the line of wire out of Lahore.